Alexander the Great, one of history's most legendary conquerors. In just 12 years, he built one of the largest empires the world had ever seen, stretching from Greece to the Indus Valley in India. Yet, at the peak of his power, Alexander's sudden death at the age of 30 left the world in shock. Was it a natural fate, or was there a larger conspiracy at play? According to historical records, Alexander fell seriously ill in June 323 BCE while in Babylon. His condition worsened rapidly over several days: high fever, extreme weakness, and eventually, he lost the ability to speak. Despite the efforts of the best physicians of his time, Alexander succumbed to his illness after 10 days. But what truly caused his untimely death? Since his death, historians have debated the cause. Some suggest Alexander died of natural diseases like typhoid fever, malaria, or acute pancreatitis. Others, however, propose a more sinister theory: poisoning. But how could such a strong and resilient man suddenly fall so ill? Eyewitness accounts detail severe symptoms. Alexander suffered from a dangerously high fever, excruciating pain, and complete loss of bodily control. Modern scholars suspect diseases like typhoid fever match these symptoms. But there's a glaring inconsistency: Alexander was known for his incredible physical strength. Could such a powerful warrior really succumb to a common illness? The theory of poisoning is one of the most controversial. Alexander had many enemies, even within his inner circle. After his death, his vast empire quickly fragmented into smaller kingdoms ruled by his generals, known as the Diadochi. Did they have motives to hasten his demise and seize power for themselves? Some reports claim that Alexander fell ill shortly after attending a grand banquet with his men in Babylon. This has led to speculation that poison might have been slipped into his food or drink. But here's the problem: most poisons of that era acted quickly, while Alexander's illness lasted over 10 days. If he was poisoned, what kind of toxin could act so slowly yet lethally? Babylon itself adds to the intrigue of Alexander's death. The city, a hub of politics and culture, was notorious for its schemes and betrayals. Alexander had recently conquered this ancient metropolis, and not everyone welcomed his rule. Was there a plot brewing within these very walls? In recent decades, scientists and historians have attempted to uncover the truth using modern methods. Unfortunately, without physical evidence, such as Alexander's, remains solving this mystery is nearly impossible. His tomb, if it exists, remains undiscovered, leaving much of this story shrouded in uncertainty. Despite the mystery surrounding his death, Alexander's legacy endures. He was more than a conqueror, he was a visionary who spread Greek culture across the known world. Cities like Alexandria in Egypt became centers of knowledge and civilization for centuries to come. After Alexander's death, his vast empire fractured. His generals, the Diadochi, vied for power, dividing the empire into smaller kingdoms. Without a single ruler, the once mighty empire dissolved into chaos and endless conflict. Alexander was reportedly buried in a magnificent golden sarcophagus, initially in Babylon, and later moved to Egypt. Many believe his final resting place is in Alexandria. However, the exact location of his tomb remains one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. Alexander the Great, a king, a conqueror, a legend. His death remains one of history's most enduring mysteries. Was it disease, poisoning, or something far more complex? What do you think truly happened to Alexander?